Animals that can interbreed. Number 1. Dogs and cats. Dogs and cats are two of the most popular domesticated animals, and people all over the world keep both as beloved companion animals. Despite their differences in size and behavior, they can interbreed, though this is generally not considered a healthy choice. Dog-cat hybrids are called hybrids or hybrids, and they typically have a mix of traits from both parent animals. For example, they may have the meow of a cat, the bark of a dog, and the fur of both. Hybrids are generally sterile, as they are unable to reproduce themselves. They are also prone to health problems due to the complications of breeding two distinct species, though this is not always the case. Hybrids are typically not recommended by animal experts, as the risks of health complications can be quite high for the animals. Number 2. Bison and cows. Bison and cows are both members of the Bovidae family, which makes them capable of interbreeding. The resulting offspring are called beefalo, and they are a cross between domestic cattle and American bison. These hybrids may look like bison and can have some of the bison's more desirable traits such as disease resistance, but they are typically smaller than full-blooded bison. Beefalo are often bred for their meat, which has a flavor similar to that of bison, but is usually leaner and more tender. Number 3. Lions and tigers. Lions and tigers are part of the same genus, Panthera, so they can interbreed. This type of hybrid is known as a liger or tigon, depending on which species is the mother and which is the father. These hybrids are found in captivity, where the animals are kept in close proximity, usually for entertainment or educational purposes. Ligers tend to be much larger than either of the parent species, and can grow up to 3 times the size of a regular lion. Tigons, on the other hand, are usually smaller than either parent species. They typically have a striped pattern, like tigers, but the stripes can be faint. In the wild, hybrid animals rarely survive because they don't have the same adaptations as their parent species and are not able to compete for resources. Number 4. Bears and raccoons. Bears and raccoons can interbreed and produce hybrid offspring, commonly known as a bearcoon or cousin. This hybrid species is an incredibly rare phenomenon due to the fact that bears and raccoons are two very distinct species. The offspring of a successful mating will typically be infertile, meaning that the hybrid species is unable to reproduce and thus has a very limited lifespan. These hybrid animals are often found in the wild and can exhibit traits from both species, such as having a coat of fur similar to a bear with markings similar to a raccoon. While the exact genetic composition of these hybrids can vary, they are believed to have a combination of genetic information from both the bear and raccoon parents. Number 5. Seals and sea lions. Seals and sea lions are two closely related species of marine mammals that can interbreed. The hybrid offspring are known as celians, and are only found in zoological facilities. Celians typically show a mix of traits from both species, such as the general shape of a seal, but colors and patterning of a sea lion. While these hybrids can occur naturally in the wild, it is rare. The most common hybrids are Californian sea lion and the northern fur seal, as they are found in close proximity in the wild. Number 6. Penguins and dolphins. Penguins and dolphins are two mammals that cannot interbreed, as they are both members of completely different animal families. Penguins belong to the aves, bird, family, while dolphins belong to the Cetacea, whale, family. Although they are both aquatic mammals, they are not closely related enough to produce viable offspring. Penguins and dolphins have long been studied together because of their similar characteristics. They both live in aquatic environments, have streamlined bodies, and are highly intelligent animals. Although they cannot interbreed, they often interact in the wild, as dolphins have been observed playing with penguins and vice versa. Number 7. Sheep and goats. Sheep and goats are closely related animals in the subfamily Caprina, which includes all species of caprinid ungulates, such as ibex and chamois. As a result, they can successfully interbreed, producing offspring known as geep, or sheep-goats. When sheep and goats mate, the offspring is usually stillborn or suffers from severe malformations. However, some hybrids can survive and are capable of breeding with one another or with either parent species. Sheep-goat hybrids usually have features of both parents, with a woolly coat and horns of various shapes and sizes. They have been found to exhibit characteristics of both species and are somewhat intermediate between them. Research has shown that interbreeding between sheep and goats may allow for hardier and more robust animals that possess the best traits of both species. Number 8. Chickens and turkeys. Chickens and turkeys are both poultry animals which are members of the same family, Phasianidae. This means that chickens and turkeys can interbreed, although the offspring, called turkins, is usually sterile. Turkin chickens have a unique look with features of both parent species, like the wattles of a chicken and the bald head of a turkey. It's possible to create mixed breeds with the characteristics of both chickens and turkeys, although it takes careful breeding and selection to produce a healthy animal. Number 9. Horses and donkeys. Horses and donkeys are both members of the genus Equus and can, therefore, interbreed. The resulting offspring is a mule, which is sterile and cannot reproduce. Mules are incredibly strong and were historically used as draft animals in many cultures. They are now mainly used for work in agriculture, transportation, and recreation. Mules have a variety of characteristics that make them different from their horse and donkey parents. They typically have long ears, a short mane, and a stocky body. Their temperament is often described as being more even and patient than horses or donkeys. Number 10. Gorillas and humans. Gorillas and humans are two species that cannot interbreed, largely due to the differences in their genetic makeup. Despite obvious similarities, such as the physical resemblance of gorillas and humans, the two species are too genetically distinct from one another for them to produce a viable offspring. Humans and gorillas are both primates and belong to the same family, Hominidae. However, gorillas evolved from a much older common ancestor than humans. This means that the two species have diverged in their evolutionary development for millions of years and have accumulated enough genetic differences for them to be unable to produce viable offspring. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video interesting. Make sure to check out our other videos for more curiosities around the world. Until next time, stay curious.